when college basketball season starts, it's kind of in the middle of the start of the NBA. College football's in full swing. We're still looking at our fantasy rosters when it comes to the NFL. There's so many other things that are going on. I think the World Series is just ending. So it's like, oh, here's college basketball. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know who's on the teams anymore with the transfer portal. There's so many new guys, new teams switching around. I can't keep up. Then you have all these tournaments going on. I'm like, you got the Maui tournament. You got this in the Bahamas and the Atlantis. And I can't keep up. So I tend to focus on college basketball right around February as we get closer into March.
Makes sense.
And now I focus in on certain teams. Then you find about certain players. And then the NCAA tournament actually happens. And you're watching and you're focusing in. And you tend to follow a coach, a fan base, or a particular player. I think, Brockman, we were talking about players who you remember having fantastic NCAA tournaments in their career that you always remember. For me, Bryce Drew was just a name that was just top of mind, made one of the greatest shots of all time.
And now he's the head coach at Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Like, he's back. We mentioned just guys, TJ, like Harold Arsenault. Remember Dante Jones? Like, all these guys, they are kind of one-hit wonders, but they did it in March.
Correct.
And that's why we remember them. And I'm sure you're going to get there. We are seeing it live and in person right now, TJ. The big fella is making his mark. And everyone is going to remember DJ Burns Jr. forever.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll start right there. DJ Burns, I apologize. I'm sorry. I wasn't familiar with your game, and now that I am, hello and welcome to Stardom. I mean, this isn't just 15 minutes of fame.
No.
I think this is the story that a lot of people are falling in love with. Because obviously you've got a guy who plays the game the way that he does, the size in which he plays with such grace and efficiency.
Yep.
But then there's also like the story behind it. But DJ Burns Jr., right, is now probably one of the most Googled or searched player in college basketball.
Especially after his appearance here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Absolutely. But it's even more so because I think you use the platform of the Rich Eisen Show and you go out and play well. That helps out even more. And now NC State goes to the Final Four. They get a chance to go out and go play for a national championship as an 11 seed. Are 11 seeds really Cinderellas? Is it because let's start with a Cinderella is technically defined as what? A double-digit seed?
Well, that's 11.
What is the actual definition, Brockman, of what a Cinderella is?
Yeah, I think so. Look, NC State 11 seed. Okay,
Correct.
they're the sixth 11 seed to ever make the Final Four.
Sixth. Okay.
That is a Cinderella. Look, we know. Let's see, UCLA did it a few years ago. Loyola Chicago. That's Sister Jean, right? When
Sister Jean.
She first put on the map. VCU in 2011. That was Shaka.
Yep.
Shaka Smart. George Mason. Remember that run in 06? And LSU in 86. So the sixth 11 seed ever, they're Cinderella for sure.
Yeah. So just for my knowledge, and that's why I lean on you guys, Cinderellas are double-digit seeds or higher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Because I watched North Carolina State in the ACC tournament, and I'm like, okay, they've got something going. And they get to, I believe they played, who was the Virginia, and they hit the shot at the buzzer to send it to overtime. Like, they were this close to not even making the tournament.
They won 5 straight games in the ACC tournament just to make it.
They're on a 9-game win streak. They are on a 9-game winning streak, North Carolina State. This is the stories that I'm talking about. These are the stories that make college basketball fun. Because, to be honest, I didn't watch North Carolina State basketball before the last 3-4 weekends, and yet they've stolen my attention. They've stolen pretty much, I think, America's attention because they have a player in DJ Burns who you got to go research. You got to go and look him up. You got to go say, hey, how did I miss on this guy? The personality that he plays with, right? The fun that he plays with, his size, demeanor, things about all of that. And you look back and say, this dude went to Winthrop? Like, he started at Tennessee, didn't play there. Then he goes to Winthrop, plays there for 3 seasons, transfers over to North Carolina State. And then to even think, this is the one step I take it further. He played his high school basketball in South Carolina. He was the number 3 player in the state of South Carolina back in 2018. You know who the number 1 player was? Number 1 player in South Carolina in 2018 high school basketball. Guy by the name of Zion Williamson.
Oh, heard of him.
Heard of him, yeah. Zion goes to Duke, then goes immediately to the NBA. He's been in the NBA now for 4 seasons already. And here's a guy who was right behind him, but has had to go through the college basketball ranks. He goes through from Tennessee, where he didn't play, he redshirts, goes to Winthrop, plays marginally in the beginning, freshman year, sophomore year, then is player of the year in the conference, and says, you know what? I want to go enter the transfer portal. Because, see, the thing about it is we hate the transfer portal when it doesn't work for us, right? We hate, I hate this portal. These kids, there's no loyalty. But then I look at the story like this with DJ Burns, and I'm saying this is what the portal's supposed to be about, success. A guy who says, yeah, I'm playing at a program that is maybe a low major in Winthrop. I think I can play on the highest level of college basketball. I can play amongst the blue bloods. I can go into a conference that has Duke and North Carolina, Syracuse, Virginia. I can go play at that level. And he did that. He went up to that level. And now we're watching him over the last couple weekends go out and put on a show with a smile on his face, with a demeanor, with a respect for the game. And what really stands out to me, fellas, and he talked about it in his press conference too, and I'll get to a little sound of him talking about his comments after the game, but he does it in such a fun manner. Like, he's having fun. And when you have fun, trust me, as a former player in the NFL, one thing that you can show me, I can watch tape, I can watch a game. You cannot fake fun. Mm-hmm. You can't fake that.
Yep.
Like, I've watched NFL film with the sound off, watching. I'm like, man, those dudes out there having fun, because it's how they play. It's the movement. It's the love for one another, his teammates, the fan, all of that. That dude is having fun. And you can take a listen to DJ Burns. This is after the game, as his Wolfpack, the North Carolina State Wolfpack, heading to the Final Four.
What does Coach Keats mean to you, and how did he have you guys prepared for this?
I'll take this one. I would say, man, he kind of, changed the trajectory of what I had going on, I was up at Winthrop and, didn't really know how this was going to play out when I put my name in that portal. And honestly, I didn't even at first think I was coming here. So for this, it's just an absolute blessing. And I think that man needs a lot more respect still.
Put some respect on Kevin Keats' name, the head coach over at North Carolina State. By the way, North Carolina State, not just the men's team is in the Final Four, but the women's team is actually in the Final Four as well. So you've got to figure out, and this is always the fun part. I wish I can talk to the AD, Boo Kerrigan, one of the ADs over there at North Carolina State, because you got a kind of a divided fan base a little bit, right? It's like, do we go to the men's tournament in Phoenix, or do we go, or who gets to go to Cleveland for where the women's Final Four is? Because you're going to be represented, or do you just go to both? You fire up the PJ, and it's like you're in Cleveland on Friday, flying straight to Phoenix on Saturday, and hopefully you got games on Sunday and then coming back again Monday. This is what it's all about. This is what it's for. These matchups and DJ Burns and guys like that. Like, I'm truly excited, because you want to see success to guys who have had to go through a little bit of adversity. And I don't know if you want to call it adversity, but to see a guy work his way up to where he is now, and to see everyone put it on display for the world. DJ Burns is a guy that, when I think of now the 2024 NCAA men's basketball tournament, his name now pops. His name now comes to mind for what he's been able to do and help lead his program to a Final Four berth. That's unreal. Unreal.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.